up till a couple of years ago, and I think the legislature changed this, but they didn't change it much. And it was, you would get a higher penalty if you stole a car that was a higher value. So like your $40,000 truck.
Yeah, and who does that hurt the most?
The left and the right should be able to agree on this. You have a 3-step program, okay? So here's what you do when you encounter the homeless person that is out there. Because I don't buy this whole thing that the vast majority of homeless people are there because they fell on hard times.
I don't either.
And they felt, and like always, those people will take whatever help they can get.
Really, I think it begins with voting. We've got to get the word out there.
Oh, I agree.
You have to change the top level administration.
I agree with that.
Pull us down.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Twisted View. I am Leland Conway, along with the panel today, Willie B, Marc Mager, Ben Allbright. Don't forget, subscribe and like our channel. Click that little bell icon for notification. Find Twisted View Podcast on your favorite listening app. Suggestions? We don't care. I hate Leland at twistedview.com. Denver, guys, a once great American city. We all kind of call it home now.
Still is, man.
Okay, but do you feel safe in Denver? This is a question I think a lot of people in Denver are asking themselves.
If you want to get stabbed, you can easily go to the 16th Street Mall and get stabbed.
I mean, there is a recommended daily allowance of stabbings on 16th Street Mall. It's like
What's that number?
About 6, 7 a
6
day.
or 7 a day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Look, it's like Denver. You know what needs a gigantic pressure washer. It does, man. I don't know what happened. I think things during the pandemic escalated and maybe fast tracked some of what we're seeing now. But dude, you can't come to Denver without seeing homeless, seeing people. No joke. I was down here 2 days ago, and there's a dude as I'm driving, same exit, Lincoln Broadway, exit off I-25. You get off there, everybody's selling their homes in there. By the way, I wonder why.
Yeah, can't believe it.
Yeah, and there's a dude standing just off the road, just peeing on the sidewalk.
I can actually top that. That's it.
Right?
I got out of my car and I said, yes, that's what happened. I stopped out at the intersection. The guy was trying to panhandle for money, and then he took around and took a dump right there in the intersection. I'm like, I used to live down here, and I won't say that. I mean, I've been all over the world.
Did he use the window squeegee?
He had the newspaper on standby.
Asking for a friend.
Right. Yeah.
Willie's done that before.
I don't not feel physically safe in downtown Denver. Like, that's not the case. But I do like, I don't ever lock my doors in my car. I lock my doors in my car when I'm downtown. I mean,
you should lock your doors in your car, dude.
Well, I mean, somebody breaks in and steals it.
As a guy who just got his truck stolen.
I was like, if they want to break in and steal that, I'll use the insurance on someone. No, but I mean, like there are property things, or there are things, like I'm more on alert when I'm downtown, certainly. And we do have, because I came here from Tampa, and you know how it was in Tampa. Tampa has a large homeless population as well. It's a temperate client, and we have a tolerant government here that tolerates that stuff, and it leads to an overabundance of people migrating there, and it becomes a problem. And now we're oversaturated with it.
We have a tolerant government of that kind of behavior.
I'm trying to be charitable.
Not a tolerant government of other kinds of freedom behaviors. And that's the thing that drives me nuts. I can't tell you how many times we've had friends come to visit us in Colorado. And then look, I love this state, right? But I live in Colorado Springs because it's slightly safer than Denver. But in the 6 years that I've been there, dude, like it's gone from nothing ever happening to a homeless camp at the end of the street, at the end of the neighborhood street that I live on, and I live in a pretty nice neighborhood. It's wild, and it's like this stuff continues to go. And the problem is when you look at our leaders, they just commissioned a study to study what to call the 16th Street Mall, and they came back with 16th Street, right? Instead of actually enforcing law down there. I'm like, you might want to call it the Stabbing Street Mall, because every time I turn on the television, there's like a freaking story about somebody getting stabbed on 16th Street Mall. I don't think
Stabbing McMurphy's, the 16th lane of stabbing is quite the ring to it.
But really,
it's quite the ring.
I think the biggest disagreement I'm going to have is COVID got brought up. That's kind of where it started. I disagree. Look, I know people like to smoke their dope. I think because we were the first state to start allowing everybody to smoke pot at any times, the kids do it, everybody does it. I think that's where it started going really wrong in this state.
I think there's a reason for
we
that.
had Owens here for a while.
Now we're going to have an argument.
Agree. See, I would think COVID fastened the pace of whatever that deterioration factor is going downtown. Here's what I'll tell you. what's wild about downtown and when you're seeing it is what's happened just in the last, the building, the construction, the people, the attitude, the atmosphere, and the laws. Because I just had my truck stolen from downtown. Right. My truck was considered property. I had the guy's family who stole my truck. They ratted him out, but they were also gangbangers. So the cops didn't want to put them on a jury stand. I had other people that saw my truck getting gas, right? And another person that knew the person that stole my truck, and he seen a video where the guy that stole my truck showed him, right? The CBI, Colorado Bureau of Investigation, they're so behind because some lady fudged a bunch of things for 2 years. Yeah. That because it's property, right? And this is important for anybody in Denver. If it's property and not a personal crime, they do not care. My truck is a $40,000 truck. Was a $40,000 truck because there was no personal crime, no injury to me, not a crash on I-25,
no investigation.
It was just considered property, so they just said sorry. Your insurance should handle it. I had liability coverage. I didn't get anything.
But that's also, even if you did, that's why the insurance is higher here in Colorado than almost anywhere.
We also live in a state where the Attorney General said a couple of years ago that by the second or third time you steal a car, you should probably go to jail. Meaning there isn't the concern about those kinds of crimes and how they victimize people. And the funny thing is,
the guy had been in jail 7 times before.
I know.
They don't care,
7
man.
times. Same dude.
Now he
had a record. The CBI had his name, had everything.
Polis doesn't care.
Dude, he left a
and that's on purpose.
Hold on, I'm not done. He left a Monster energy drink that he bought at a fucking gas
with
station.
DNA on it because he drank it.
With DNA on it. You couldn't get more clear cut.
It would take him 5 years to test it here.
Yeah, here's the dude spit. Run his DNA.
Listen, I hate to say it.
We have to give him another chance.
If someone gets raped here, it takes 2 years to do that DNA.
Right.
Yeah, man. That's how far
we've got a problem
here. And here's the crazy thing about that, too. And I know we're chasing a little bit of a rabbit trail, but I think this is a good one. So up till a couple of years ago, and I think the legislature changed this, but they didn't change it much. And it was, you would get a higher penalty if you stole a car that was a higher value. So like your $40,000 truck.
Yeah, and who does that hurt the most?
Exactly.
The people they promised to represent.
Right.
The homeless, basically.
If you stole a car under $2,000 in value, they would be like a misdemeanor charge.
And who doesn't need that car?
Who drives a $2,000 car?
The maid.
The single mom.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're going to
You donate a ton of those. You know who drives these cars.
And at the end, theft should be theft. Like it shouldn't matter the amount that you stole. Theft is
or
theft.
who the
You stole
victim
something
is.
that wasn't you. It's theft. Like we should, there's got to be sensible law.
I mean, if someone stole like an
I'm
ice,
different with a kid with a pack of gum than I am with a car. But you get the idea. Like, but still, like
put them in
you
jail.
Stole a car. You stole a car. It shouldn't matter if it's $2,000 or $40,000.
There's a significant chance that the $2,000 car will have a bigger impact on the people that were
absolutely
than the $40,000 truck will.
And here's the problem. Everything you guys just said right there, it ties back. You think the criminals don't know the exact thing we're talking about right now? That there aren't any consequences? That the law doesn't care? That's why they're doing it. And that's why we have a situation where people don't ask a restaurant owner downtown, right? Yeah. They're getting out. They're moving out. They don't want to be there.
How long did it take Kaufman in Aurora? I know he calls himself a Republican, but my God, how long did it take him to actually admit there's gang members walking around with guns in an apartment?
Right.
How long?
Yeah.
I think he just did that yesterday.
Well, I think
dude's carrying ARs through the hallways. There's nothing to see here.
Nothing to see.
There's no problem with that.
I can't figure out whether it's the people that are leading us are aware of how stupid this looks to those of us that are, just regular hardworking Coloradans, if they're aware of it or if they're just that dumb, right? Because you can't look at this problem in the city of Denver and walk away from that going, like, if you're Mayor Johnston or if you're Governor Polis, you can't walk away from that mess and go, we did a good job today.
There's no way. And then all they do is throw money at stuff, the homeless stuff, to circle back. I've never seen so much money thrown at a problem that continually gets worse. Right. How about what Douglas County does? Douglas County, there's a homeless guy there in Castle Rock. They pick him up and drop him off in Aurora. Then Aurora sends him to Denver. Denver needs to get him over to, I don't know, Kansas or somewhere else.
That's what we should do. Drop them all off in Kansas.
Well, but in the end, it all boils down to money. Like, that's what these politicians look at. What's the cheaper solution? Not what's the good solution. What's the cheap solution?
No, they have no solution. No, see, I disagree. I think most of Colorado in the politics, that money for homeless, I honest to say it is lining liberals' pockets.
Absolutely.
I think it's so BS. I think that soup kitchen that gets $1 million, they might get 4 cans of Campbell and $985,000 goes into somebody's pocket. No, you think I'm kidding. I'm not kidding at all. But I think it's more corrupt than anything out there.
Absolutely.
But I think Ben's point, though, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think kind of what he's saying is words in his mouth.
Okay.
Shut up.
That guy was a word.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I think that it feels like the point that you're making is that the politicians aren't concerned necessarily about an accurate solution.
No, they're corrupt.
They're corrupt.
No, I'm not making the point.
Or the easy solution.
They're corrupt.
They want the easy solution that looks like they can go on television and say, look what I did. I donated or I allocated $20 billion or whatever. Look at California. They don't even know where $24 billion went on this issue.
This is
At the end of the day, though, what is a politician's goal? It's to keep going, right?
Right.
So you got to claim you did a good job.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Keep going up, right? So you've got to continue to come out and keep selling the populace.
They should be the hell out of there.
I'm saving you money. I did good. And keep trying to move on to the next job. Civil servants aren't there to serve anymore. They're there to further their career, and keep on going. That's part of the problem.
Originally we were supposed to go to Washington, do our duty, and come home and be happy to get home.
Yeah.
Now it's like you go there and then you leave with more money than anybody in the world.
Yeah.
Look at Bernie Sanders flying around on a damn jet with whatever her name is from Brooklyn or wherever the hell she's from. Have you seen her damn district? It makes LA look like Six Flags. It's crazy, man. And they're flying around on a jet bitching about oligarchs.
Yeah.
They are an oligarch.
I wonder what the carbon footprint on that is.
The old one was who was the old Carrie?
Their new shiny penny, Jasmine Crockett, loudmouth lip service lady.
Yeah.
She makes $162,000 a year, $170,000 a year. She's got property worth $10.7 million. She's got 3 homes.
Wow.
Right? They're investigating her now.
Yeah.
Should investigate her.
I'd much rather a president come in. I know there's people that don't like Trump, but I'm talking about this from an economical standpoint. This guy knows how to run a business, and it's evident. Like him or hate him, he knows. You might not like what he's doing right now, but the bottom line is he's actually run companies and thousands upon thousands of employees. And these people that come in like AOC, they've never done anything.
Well,
all they've done is get up there.
She worked at a bar.
Well, she was an actor,
Willie
right?
B.
She was an actor, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
They did a roll call.
What was she in?
No, she was an actor. They did a roll call.
Willie B.
Right? And she came and read the part, basically.
Yeah, I remember
That's how they hired her.
That's really.
Do you feel safe in Denver?
I mean, personally...
Well, you're a badass, okay? So I know nobody's going to mess with Willie B.
But no, I do worry. I worry about my wife.
Yeah.
I got 2 kids. If there's something, we're going to Monster Truck Show this weekend.
Yeah.
Monster trucks.
Yeah.
But honest to God, if I went around and even other times, we come down here quite often for what I do.
Yeah.
There's plenty of times where it's been sketch, man.
Yeah.
Where people walking down, saw a dude carrying, it was like 6-8 months ago in the fall, we came down, celebrate an anniversary, and there's just the guy walking with a big long fence post, like a 10-foot fence post, just swinging it.
Yeah.
Like, whoever comes
Dude,
away.
if I had $1 for every time I heard, another guy told me just yesterday, he was telling me a story about how his wife was chased by a woman with a lead pipe in downtown Denver. I talked to another business owner that's had 3 or 4 instances involving a machete with a crazy homeless person.
My son did.
It happens so often, and it's almost like the leaders don't even hear it. They don't hear these stories, or they don't care about these stories. And all people want to do is be able to get back to the Denver that you came out here for, man. Willie, that the Colorado that I moved out here, that you moved out here, that you moved out here for. I mean, we just wanted to get back to that place where we feel like comfortable going downtown and hanging out and having dinner. I want to take my wife out to see a show. Man. Yeah, and I don't know how you get back to that.
How do you get everybody to the table? Because on the one side, on the left, you got to find a humane solution, and on the right, you've got to find an effective solution. And right now, neither side has anything that's sitting up there. That
I have an idea. I have an idea if you guys want to hear it.
I'm here to listen.
I have an idea if you guys want to hear it. I think the left and the right should be able to agree on this. You have a 3-step program, okay? So here's what you do when you encounter the homeless person that is out there. Because I don't buy this whole thing that the vast majority of homeless people are there because they fell on hard times.
I don't either.
And they felt, and like always, those people will take whatever help they can get, and we can get the back. Willie, you know about this. You know about empowering people that want to get back on their feet.
Yeah,
You've seen it firsthand with your charity. You know what the frick I'm talking about. But the vast majority of them are either drug addicted or mentally ill. So you're gonna give them 3 choices. Choice number 1, we got a rehab situation for you that you can go into today, and I'm okay as a libertarian taxpayer. Cool, that's better.
That's where I'm coming with that.
Than putting them in jail, right, or whatever. Go
Probably
in.
cheaper.
You're mentally ill. We're going to put you in this mental illness place where you're going to have 3 square meals, a warm place to sleep, people that take care of you and give you care, or you can go to jail.
Okay, so what happens?
You're taking one of those 3 choices, and once you're done in whatever jail, then we're shipping you the hell out of here because you cannot stay here. Until you make that clear, the problem's not going away.
Recidivism
And I think that's
rate,
humane.
Yeah, but they're going to fall back. You send them to the rehab. The chances of that actually working and not ruining, maybe 1 or 2% are going to be okay.
I don't know how many you're going to do.
But my question to you is, what do you do second time?
You're shipping them out.
Are we carrying a vagrancy database for repeat offenders? Like, what do we, there's little,
point.
where are we dropping them off on the border of Kansas? Because I'm sure the people in Kansas don't want it.
They have nothing but corn.
Wyoming.
There's plenty of room for
are we going to
homeless kid.
Wyoming, New Mexico? I mean,
it's
Colby,
like
Kansas is like now going to
in
be
the world, though.
I don't know, man.
Where are we sending people? I mean, there's details to be worked out. My main thing is
let's
find solutions, man. Because I live downtown. I moved south of the city now. I feel okay being out there, but I would not feel okay sending my teenage daughter downtown. If, that kind of stuff. So, so that's the things. Okay, let's find a solution. Let's come together and find a solution.
What's wrong with my solution?
I'm there for you. I got a few bones to pick. Like, where are we taking them?
So, but we started a conversation.
We started a dialogue right there.
You can take someone that's 18 to 25 that has loving parents that are hooked on opioids, crack, anything, meth, you name it. And the chances of them going to rehab once and it working is 0.
Okay,
guys.
you're fixating on this. You're fixating on this. Rehab you're right.
I'm just saying the people you're talking about, to go up to any homeless and say they've never been in a rehab, I just don't believe.
You're fixating on one aspect of it.
You're giving them a 3 strikes.
I'm giving them a 3 strikes.
Here's your chance.
I'm saying this is because there's 10%. And I know this because I actually work with an organization in San Diego that does homeless help, right? The only way to get into the organization that I work with, you have to actually accept one of these 3 things. If you go in there, they're going to give you the mental health, they're going to give you the drug rehab, they're going to give you the employment training, and they're going to put you to work. And I've seen it in action, but it's only about 5 to 10%. The other 90%, that's the ones you're going to have to ship them out or do whatever. But you can't,
think those
you can't
are the
let
ones
them stay on the street
already. Those are the ones sitting in Denver.
I think it's most of them. But I think if you do a program like that, you can bring the left and the right together, and everybody's going to see
you
that
say
opportunity.
we're not going to throw you in jail for shooting
Willie
up.
scares me when
we're
he's
not going
quiet.
to do freaking mushrooms. You can do whatever you want down
No
here.
drugs.
Yeah, well, no, what I'm saying is, but we invite these people from all over the country.
Right, but that's the
because of
existing
this
system.
BS.
I'm offering a solution to change it.
But what about the people that just want to be out there? There's a whole
Those are the ones you put in
list
jail.
of people
It's a
that are
crime.
just
Good point.
feral, man. They're just like,
They are feral.
Totally.
This is just how I want to live my life. This is the way I want to live it, and I'm just going to
And
be out
I've
here.
had that conversation with people where
They're like
they
the
have
cat
told
you
me,
love.
with the group that I work with, I've had that conversation with people that are homeless where they literally will tell me, I just want to be out here because this is where I live.
I think that's a bunch of them.
Right? And I think, my opinion is, you don't get to do that. You don't get to choose.
But they let them.
I know. And I'm saying we
Let
don't.
them
See,
encourage
I'm more to the libertarian side of that. Like,
Right.
who are you to tell me that I can't live,
wanna
sovereign
sleep on the
citizen
street?
that I
On
can't?
whose
Who are you to tell me that I
property,
can't? You're right into the wild. I mean, Alex McCandless, who went up there to Alaska, did the whole.
That's the wilderness, not downtown Denver.
I'm just saying, though. Where do we draw the line?
Cheeseman Park.
Hey, you know what?
Where do we draw the line, though?
Benjamin, if you don't stab people or poop on the street, I'm okay with it.
I can't
sleep on
promise
a
either
bench.
one.
No, I don't
can't
want
promise
somebody.
either one.
I don't want somebody on the sidewalk in front of my house that I'm trying to sell.
Well, okay.
living there.
Yeah,
I just
fair.
don't want
Yeah.
that.
No, I agree.
That would fall under property rights. Like, then you can't get. But I'm just saying, like, what law are we corralling people? Like, there's minutia here that has to get worked out, and I think you have to present that to the left in order to get them on board with getting them out of there.
It wasn't long ago.
that makes
Even
sense.
Hickenlooper would give them tickets to California, one-way bus tickets. Hickenlooper. I'm not going back to Owens. Hickenlooper
Right.
would give them one-way bus tickets to California. That was it. That's
I'm
how
fine
we
with
got
that.
rid of them.
or Alaska.
Yeah, man.
I'm fine with
Now
that.
they don't
I'm
like
okay
it.
with that. I
The
would
point
be.
is
I would
you
be
can't
okay with
sleep
California
here.
come here.
Right.
They send them here.
That's because they're giving One-way
bus
bus
passes
tickets to Colorado.
Right.
So you need to pick a state that
No, they're like flying them on Frontier.
No, they got better airlines than that.
Right? You get the skunk plane.
No, but I mean, like Alaska though. Alaska can't afford to send them back.
Right.
So
they're stuck there.
So
They're
send them
stuck
to
there.
Alaska. There's plenty of wilderness. You want to be rural? Cool.
Here's
There
the
you go.
cabin.
I don't know how
Live
you
off the
really.
land.
Sounds like a reality TV show, man.
Homeless in Alaska.
From high in Denver. The oppression Olympics now in Alaska.
I like it. I like it.
I mean, I don't mean to not have a heart of the situation, but like I lived there, I saw it, and I saw it grow. I lived downtown during COVID. I saw it grow. This is not anecdotal
It got
claims.
bad.
Like it got to the point where
it got
you
bad.
right there. I lived at McGregor Square. You saw all. I mean, it was an encampment around the baseball stadium.
Right.
Think about how hard it would be to homeless. So instead of like working in McDonald's and making $20 an hour or whatever it is, and working your way up, maybe renting a room, then an apartment, whatever. But think about that. That's 40 hours a week compared to being outside on the 16th Street Mall in the middle of winter
Right.
in Denver. Those guys are unbelievable. If you really think about it, they're some of the toughest son of a bitches you'll ever see. I've seen the same guy on a certain corner for about 10 years.
Yeah.
How the hell's he do it?
Juggles bowling.
I
pins.
couldn't do it.
I think here's the problem.
It's like Naked and Afraid.
I'm getting more and more heartless the longer our leaders let this fester.
Hey, can we
right?
cue that song "Heartless" by?
We should. No, but I get. You know, look, I love people. I think dogs are better than people, but I love people, and I want to see people achieve their full potential. Right? I want solutions that empower people to break cycles of poverty and achieve their full potential. The problem is we have a huge portion of this population that knows nobody's ever going to put them on the spot to make that choice. And until
How do we
do,
incentivize it?
Yeah.
So
that's
we're
insane. You can
importing
incentivize-
people. We're literally importing people here
Yes.
that think the way the current administration does.
Right.
We have to handle that.
So you have to incentivize it. So we can incentivize businesses. Say we put together like barrack style housing. Businesses get tax credits for housing these people and getting them jobs. And it
These
starts
people
to get the
don't
cycle.
want. A lot of these people don't want to live in a house. They want to live
Then we
outside.
make a
Again, we're already
vagrancy
busting
law.
them out.
Then we vagrancy law them, and his 3 strikes. Like
They all
you
go
can
to
either
Willie's
get-
house.
You can either get
Hey,
here and be
I don't
productive, or you can find somewhere else. Maybe Canada will take you.
Have you seen that?
that's
Have
a
you seen
great
the social media
idea.
things where people are all supportive of like, yeah, we should bring in more, immigrants and more these people that are, from poverty-stricken areas and blah blah blah. And then the
they
response
wanna
is like,
work.
As soon as they say yeah, right, they're like, oh great. All right, you guys want to come in? And there'll be like 15 people come in.
And they freak
right?
out.
And they go, oh, no, I don't mean my house.
Right.
Right.
Everybody thinks it's a good idea.
that was
or
the one.
sounds like a good idea until they have it in their neighborhood, their
Right.
town. Nobody really wants that. What's happened to Europe?
That's exactly what happened where JFK died flying to Martha's Vineyard. They flew in. They flew in 20 people.
wait,
They're
not our
like,
backyard.
we got to get rid of them. We'll feed and water them,
Right.
but they got to go.
Well, and look, hey, I'm all for people coming here if they want to work, if they want to be
Increase the
productive.
taxpayer base. Yeah,
Well, I think they
lower
I
my
think
taxes.
they
I'm
have
here
to have
for
a
it.
Social
But they're more
Security
of a
number.
tax-
Oh, sure.
They
No.
gotta go.
That's what I'm saying.
Legal,
Yeah,
a
legal
legal
process,
systems than
but-
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
you
they
got to have
are-
a legal system and
Yeah,
follow the
yeah.
legal system.
No
but
firearms unless you have a citizenship.
I'm cool with that. I mean,
I think that isn't
Second
that the way.
Amendment for
Can you
Americans.
even go buy a gun, honest to God, without
yeah, you
having?
can. You can actually.
You're
you can
telling
own
me
a
you
gun
can
if
be
you have
here
a, if you're-
illegal and walk in and buy
not
a gun.
illegally. If you're legal, if you're legally here, you can buy a gun.
but
And
if
I don't
you-
have a problem with that.
I don't either. But if you're
If you're
illegal,
legally
you
here,
can.
If you're illegal, you
right,
can.
yeah.
Because they just caught those guys down in Canyon City with 180,000 rounds of ammo, which I think is a good start. But I mean, they were
Really said
probably
nice.
up to something nefarious.
You just said nice. That's
Yeah.
all.
So, I mean, probably what they were trying to do in that situation was they were probably just being really good capitalists, and they were like recognizing we have now a 6.5% excise tax on ammo, and they were going to sell it on the
I'm
black market.
undercutting them. I'm undercutting them.
Right, the more regulation
Right.
government puts in place, the more black markets you create.
Exactly.
So, but
I think really, honestly, I love the premise of the conversation, but it kept coming back like, how do we fix it?
Right.
And you had an idea on the homeless, but really, I think it begins with voting. We've got to get the word out there.
I agree.
You have to change the top level
I agree
administration.
with that.
Pull us down.
Absolutely.
If we
Johnston's
don't
not going
do
to
it,
wake up
we're
tomorrow
screwed.
and be like Mr. Common Sense.
Johnston, I don't even know what he does.
Yeah.
You know how many times we've called him to try to get him on the show? This guy won't come on any radio that I've ever heard of. He won't answer any questions.
He came on with me for an hour before he got elected, and we had an incredible conversation. And I thought, okay, this guy seems like a common sense dude.
What was it about? What was
it was about homelessness. It was about, because he made it sound as though he agrees with some of what we think here. Like, yeah, we shouldn't have just a free ride, and there should be
ass kisser.
You know, all that kind of stuff. And as soon as he got into power, the opposite happened. It just went the other direction.
No, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
The big thing is starting it from the vote. Even people that don't like Trump, they got to understand there's a lot of us out there that are that kind of that middle of the road. I'm kind of more of a Trumper, I guess. But, I mean, really, you've got to vote these wackos out of office.
Yeah. Those are the guys that have been there for decades, and ladies have been there for decades.
Term limits.
Oh my God, term limits
and get the money out.
Necessity, man.
Get the money out.
Insane. Yeah.
And doesn't Polis have doesn't he come from like $500 million?
Yeah.
I mean, they talk about the oligarchy. It's like, my God, everybody up there.
Yeah.
Look at the Biden family. He just did a speech, or he tried to do a speech, and he got paid $350,000 for it. Joe Biden got paid $350,000
to speak.
Right. To speak.
That's the one thing he might put it way over the top. You know something's wrong when he got paid. You know, to show up, shake hands, anything, but to speak.
To speak.
Nah, anything.
Who
but
wants
speak.
to hear that? If Joe Biden's agent is watching right here, you can hit us at
Leland. We'll do it. I'll do it for $250.
Half that.
$250.
Let's get him booked.
I'm undercutting him right now.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine having that conversation?
Let's get Joe Biden.
My parents, the biggest liberals in the world, they live in Florida. You know, they're in their 80s. They've just been that way forever.
They live in the villages?
They live about 20 miles from the villages.
Do they drive a 1994 Cadillac Fleetwood?
No, they drive a golf cart, and I'm not sure what model it is. They drive the golf cart to dinner, the grocery store. That's awesome. What they do.
That's awesome.
So, but my point is, it's like when he got up for that debate, Joe Biden, even my parents were like, we've been fooled.
Yeah.
That man doesn't even know where he's at.
Yeah.
You know what?
Man,
if they only had that like a month later.
Yeah.
That should have been a pay-per-view.
Oh God, it was the
I'd
best beatdown we've ever. That's awesome.
And look,
Trump goes, I don't know what he said, and I don't think he knows.
I'm one of those crazy unaffiliated voters, but
you must have voted for Trump.
Oh, I did, and I loved every minute of the election. Not because I buy into anything specific about Trump, right? Like I'm not. I warn anybody to not buy into the cult of personality, whether it's left or right, dude. But what I loved was it was shattering that cult that. And it was for once there was somebody that spoke like a real person, ascending to the top with a goal of breaking up all of this fakeness, which brings us back to the point of the conversation. Everything our leaders are doing in this state is fake.
Yeah,
I don't buy it. I don't believe them. They don't care about us. They don't care about laws. They don't care about average tax-paying Coloradans. They just pass another law. We're going to put a fee on insurance because that'll lower your insurance rate.
It's going to make it more expensive now to make it cheaper later or whatever. And I'm like, it's. I was thinking, to your point about the Biden debate. I want to go back there real quick because I'm not a Trump guy at all, but I voted for Mitt Romney. I'm a Romney Republican. I've been a Romney. I wrote it. I know. You guys can hate me. It's fine. But to be clear, I'm a Romney Republican.
He voted for a Democrat.
Let him finish.
I loved that.
Make sure to cut this part out.
Right. They're going to hate me for it. I loved that during the debate because it did expose that. And I was hoping that it would be sort of a wake-up call to the left, like you've gone too far to the left.
Right.
You've got to come back to the center.
Where exactly did you vote for Mitt Romney?
Yeah,
he wasn't even running. You wrote in Mitt Romney?
There was no way I was voting for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump.
You guys got a Bud Light? Do you have a Bud Light?
You didn't vote for Trump, and you wrote in Mitt Romney?
Absolutely. And I stand by it.
And we almost won by one vote here in Colorado.
Yeah, right? It was so close.
It was so close.
You got to
so close here in Colorado. Yeah, that vote mattered. It was so close.
We get Mitt Romney to do.
Tampon.
Hey, let's see if we get Mitt Romney to do one of those voice messages on his birthday.
Yeah.
You know, you can.
No, I'm going to get Joe Biden to do
cameos.
one.
The cameo. Get Mitt Romney to do a cameo.
There's no way I was voting for Joe Biden. There was no way I was.
But why wouldn't you vote for Trump?
We don't have enough time to get into that.
That's another half-hour episode.
I mean, yeah. Do you guys understand the Triffin paradox? Like, we can get into economics here if you want to, but if you don't understand Triffin, I don't know where to start on that.
So when the Trump administration ends in 3 years, and no matter what it is, I don't care what the liberals scare you with,
right?
And the economy's better, and unemployment's
I'm not sure that
better.
it will be.
No, I'm just saying, when all that happens, will you get on your knees? Is all I'm asking.
If it's better, I will admit I was wrong.
Here's the
it was
thing.
better under Biden?
No,
he didn't vote for Biden.
He thinks it's better under what's his name again?
Yeah, Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney.
We never saw what Romney could do.
To be fair, go back to those debates.
God.
Watch
I know,
the debates
right?
he did with Obama. He was right about everything.
Okay, if you could pick a president,
My God.
okay, you guys
My
are
God,
both.
Colonel Sanders would have been right about everything.
You guys are both Trump guys. Cool, awesome. I voted for Trump, but if you could pick a president that was not Trump,
Did it have to be a president?
that would be a president, who would you pick?
That would, I don't understand. That
Like you could
Pick
pick a
someone
president,
else to be president.
someone
right now.
other
Who would
than
you pick?
the fools on the left and other than Trump
run it. That would be right now.
if it would succeed Trump in 2028.
Okay.
Oh, because I was going to say my papaw. Hey, man. He knows everything,
There
bro.
you go.
Climbing the
Might
roof
be the
at
best
night. He was
president
like,
ever.
right. Climbing the
He's
roof
a
at night.
businessman.
Yeah.
Might be the
Bro.
best president ever.
Yeah, man. Papaw.
Yeah. There you go. All right, Papaw,
yeah,
2024. Papaw, 2028.
I'm not sure if he's dead.
He is.
Not your papa.
My papaw is.
We're exhuming him. It's working anyway.
I'm pretty
Still better
sure.
than Biden.
I'm pretty sure he is dead, but he was the first guy I ever voted for. I turned 18 the year he was running. That was Ross Perot, but I
Okay.
think he's dead.
I think he's dead now. Yeah.
Just like Papaw. Rest in peace,
Papaw.
bro. Rest
He's
in
up
peace.
there with Ross.
Papaw Perot,
right,
2028.
Yeah. Papaw would have voted for us. He
right.
was all about that crazy.
Benjamin Allbright,
That's tough.
not Mitt Romney.
All right, that's
you
tough.
can't pick Mitt Romney.
Harris. Did you Harris?
Oh God, no. Do you want like a realistic?
Yeah, there's a
possibility?
realistic person that would be
Burgum.
president.
I would vote for Burgum.
Who the hell's Bergen?
He's in charge
Doug
of
Burgum.
He's
Yeah.
Interior,
Yeah.
Interior Department.
Oh,
He's
I
North
can,
Dakota governor.
I can picture him.
He was on Trump's short list for VP.
Yeah.
I'm going Rand Paul.
Rand Paul.
Yep.
Oh, you are a libertarian.
I am. Yeah.
I
Bring
don't
it
like
on.
Rand Paul that much.
Bring it on.
He's a little too
too what?
libertarian.
I love him when he agrees. I love when he
too
agrees with me, and then when I don't, I'm like, that idiot.
Yeah, that idiot. That's the thing is I actually don't agree with everything he does, but I think he's principled, and I think
I do agree with that.
I think
Didn't he get the crap beat out of him by his neighbor?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like a dentist or something.
But I think that
And he wants
sucker
him to be
punch.
president.
Right?
what?
I think that dude's got a perm, bro. I'm not sure.
The guy attacked him from behind. Rand Paul has a perm? Is that what you said?
He kind of looks like it's a perm, bro.
He's like the Thomas Jefferson had a perm.
Yeah, man.
His wig or whatever.
Curly thing on top. I'm not sure, bro.
When you allow your neighbor to beat the hell out of you,
Oh, he was attacked from behind.
I'm just saying. I
We'll
don't
see
think
how well
should be
you hold up
president.
on your riding tractor if Willie B comes at you from behind.
I'd know he's there because my German
you
shepherds are on my tractor.
All right, man. So, hey, real quick, final poll. You feel safe in Denver? Again, not the
Questionable.
Willie B. I can kick everybody's
Your
ass.
family.
No.
But yeah, Mark,
Oh, hell no. I'm a little nervous being here today.
Benjamin.
I would not let my significant other or daughters be down here alone.
No way. I'm with you guys. I think we can fix it, but it's going to take, going back to what? Who said vote?
Big ass pressure
Who
washer.
said vote?
Vote.
Big ass pressure washer and vote. And,
Vote
and,
for the
and
big ass
every,
pressure washer.
every freaking race matters, man. Like for real, every
I wanna
race
see
matters.
that.
Right.
Because here's the thing. The city councilman becomes the mayor, becomes the state rep, becomes the U.S. rep, becomes the senator, becomes the governor.
School
becomes-
board people.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
100%.
Even
Even if you
Starts at the
don't agree
retail
with
local
everything,
level.
you got to
Yeah.
just think about the ultimate,
Get out, get
ultimate
active.
goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't like what we said, I hate Leland at twistedview.com. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
Cheers.
Bring it in.